My friend asked me recently if I found anything that can't be frozen, and honestly, the only thing that I found that's come out a bit differently is sour cream. Can be a little bit lumpy, but honestly, I still freeze it up in small portions because it really doesn't matter once you heat it through and add it to cooking. The truth is, I freeze everything. It's how I cut down on food waste, it's how I can stock up when I see a good deal, and it's how I save loads of money on groceries. So today I'm going to take you through both of my freezers so I can show you exactly what I'm freezing and how I keep it all organized. So I have a freezer with drawers, which I find the easiest for stacking in food. My top drawer is chicken. So we've got casserole chicken, diced chicken, some chicken sausages there, and all of this has come in trolleys. So I really need to get moving and work through this chicken. Drawer 2. This is where I mostly keep red meat. So we have mince, there's some sausages there. I've got these vegan sausages that I got in a trolley, and there's a bit more chicken because I've got lots, so there's a bit of an overflow there. Up the back, I have a bit of diced ham, and these are portions of sliced ham. I got a kilo for $5.99 from Tribe of Judah, so I have just split that into portions for lunches. These are little bottles of milk that I have poured out of the tops of milk so that I could freeze the big bottles, so that's just a bit of excess milk. And then I've got these two 600ml bottles of thickened cream, which I got in trolleys. They came frozen. So I will probably use those to make butter and probably a bit for cooking. So I thought since they're already frozen, I would just stick them in the freezer and use them up later. Drawer number 3. This is where I've put all of the butter that I made the other weekend. You can check out my other video for how I made butter for the first time with a stick blender. So I've got about 4 packets of butter pieces in there. Up the back is a little bit more chicken. This is a bit of leftover pastry. This 500 gram of butter that I already had from Aldi before I made the butter. So that's just in there. You can absolutely freeze butter. These are chicken fillets. And underneath I have a whole big barbecue chicken casserole, so that will come out and that'll probably do me for about 6 meals when I want to get to that. Drawer 4. I have a whole bunch of frozen yogurt pouches. Yes, you can freeze yogurt, absolutely. It comes out exactly as it went in. So I got a whole heap of these pouches in a trolley one week, more than what we could use, so I thought I'd freeze them up. I just put a few in the fridge a day before we want to eat them, and they're fully defrosted. I've got some bread, some hot dog rolls. There is some soft pita pockets. I've also got 2 more packets of those pita pockets there. And underneath is some bread rolls. Drawer 5. All right, in here I have a couple of loaves of bread. I've got some little garlic breads. All of this is frozen veggies. The little drawer at the bottom, drawer 6. This is just a half-size drawer, but that is also full of frozen veggies. This is why I don't take any more frozen veggies from the trolleys. If you've seen my previous videos, I keep donating it back because I've got so much. And now into my big drawer freezer, which is at the bottom of my fridge. This is basically where I keep all the odds and ends, things that can go into the air fryer, things that we just need to grab quickly. So I've got this 5-kilo box of frozen acai, as in the acai berry that you would get in acai bowls. So I just pull that out, stick it on the bench for about 10 minutes until the top is defrosted enough to pull some out, and I make acai bowls with that. That came in a trolley. I've got ice cream. I've got some apple pie pastry here. Instead of keeping big half-filled boxes of stuff in the freezer that it takes up too much space, if we've only got half a box of something, I will just take the excess out and put it into little snap-lock bags, so that way you can just shove it in your freezer. It doesn't take up so much room, like the pies and sausage rolls. I have got a frozen 2-litre milk down there, so that will be handy. There's a mango whisper. These are spinach and cheese bites, so I haven't tried those yet. They can go into the air fryer at some point. All these weird things came in trolleys. They are fruit mince shortbread. So again, I'll pull them out at some point, let them defrost and give them a try. I have a bag of spinach and ricotta cheese centers, which are designed for Kievs, but I didn't know what to do with them. So I put it into ChatGPT and it suggested throwing a few in with some rice and making some risotto. And so they are really yummy for that. And then we've just got some nuggets, some fries, and some onion rings down there. I have 2 extra drawers in this freezer, which are really handy. So in this bottom drawer, which is only not very tall, this is the ice block drawer. So it's got ice cube trays. That's where the kids store their ice blocks for their lunch boxes. And then we've got all these ice blocks there, which came in a trolley. So the kids are enjoying those. And then the top drawer is a container for the ice. And this is where I keep all of our frozen meals. So there's some that I've cooked, some carbonara and spag bowl and all that. And then there's some meals that have come in trolleys. So they just get stored in there for lazy nights. And then we've got a few sweets here, some Danishes and a Krispy Kreme donut, which also are leftovers from trolleys. We couldn't get to them in time, so I froze up what we couldn't eat within the first few days. So that is my freezer storage, and I would be lost without it. You can see I've got so much food put away there, and that's why I only really do a big shop every 3 to 4 weeks. I get a big trolley haul, which you can check out my last videos for that. And then we just eat through as much as we can before I go get another one and just buy odds and ends in between. So that is how I'm able to keep my grocery costs down to $67 a week on average. And I'll link that video below if you're interested in that. So let me know, like, are you a freezer? Do you freeze everything just like I do? And how do you organize your food? Let me know in the comments down below.